So, hello, my name is Kalle, and we are here in the Kesselhaus with Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine and Audioslave and the Night Watchman. Hello.
Hello, how are you? Good to see you.
Nice to see you too. We are here on the festival from Musik and Politik 2012. What is your message here? Why are you here?
Well, I've traveled all the way from Los Angeles for this Woody Guthrie 100th birthday celebration and the Politics and Music Festival. Since I've been doing my Night Watchman solo project, Woody Guthrie is one of the principal inspirations for that. And while I grew up on loving exclusively heavy music like Black Sabbath, AC/DC, bands like that, I discovered about 15 years ago that sometimes music that's just played with an acoustic guitar and 3 chords and the truth can be just as heavy as anything with a Marshall stack.
What was your age that you started in music?
I started playing guitar when I was 17.
17? So late?
Yes.
And your first instrument was guitar?
I actually played French horn when I was like 9 years old, but I was a very bad French horn player.
What is that French horn? I never heard.
French horn, like in the symphony, the one that goes around like this. Yeah, like that.
The post horn.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. And what was your first band you ever played? Was it a school band or was it a big band?
Well, the first band that I ever played, the first rock band I ever played was called the Electric Sheep. And interestingly, the bass player in that band was a gentleman by the name of Adam Jones, who is currently the guitar player in Tool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what was your first concert you ever played? Could you remember? What was it for a feeling to be on stage and to play your music for the fans?
Sure. I remember the first concert of the Electric Sheep very well. We did not play particularly well, but it was very exciting all the same. We were very limited in our abilities as musicians, so we had to write our own songs because we didn't have the ability to learn cover songs. So we at least have the integrity of performing our own songs, but the audience did not like us.
Oh, why?
Because we weren't very good.
And what was the way for you that you started with Audioslave and then Rage Against the Machine?
I'm sorry, what's that?
What was the way for you? I mean, the Black Sheep was the first band, then what came next?
Yeah, the Electric Sheep were the first band. And then I that was in high school. Then I went to college and played in some cover bands in college. After I graduated from college, I moved to Los Angeles to try to form a band. I moved, but it took about 5 years before Rage Against the Machine finally came together. And then when Rage broke up in 2000, we met up with Chris Cornell and formed Audioslave, and that lasted for about 6 years. But during that time, I began doing the Night Watchman stuff as well. Now that's been one of my main focuses.
Mm. And why are you so interested in politics?
Yeah, well, I've been interested in politics since I was a teenager. My twin passions have been, I'd probably say that politics is something that I've chosen. The guitar is not. That's something that sort of chose me. I didn't really have much choice in that. So it's been my responsibility to myself to find a way to weave the two together.
And would you say that rock music is the best music to transport political messages?
Not necessarily. I think that it can be transported on a number of different musics. If you look at a band like The Clash, which transports it via punk rock, or a group like Public Enemy, who does it via hip-hop, or Rage Against the Machine with rock, and then artists like from Bob Dylan to Bruce Springsteen to Woody Guthrie do it via folk music. There's a lot of, it can be, if the music is good, I think the first thing is the music has to be good in order for someone to take the message seriously.
So I think for you, the music comes first and then the message. So is it when you wrote a song or a guitar, what can we say for that word? A guitar solo, something like that, or a good riff. Do you think about the text or do you think more about the melody?
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on which outfit I'm working with, but to me, they tend to come separately. Like when I'm writing lyrics, I'll write lyrics independent of the music and then set them to music. When I'm writing riffs, that's something that I'm never thinking about, like what the eventual lyric is going to be. It's like get the music as great as possible and then figure out the rest later.
Okay. And what would you say, how developed the music in the last 20 years? I mean, Rage Against the Machine was 99, then before the other bands. What would you say, how developed tonight?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been quite a journey. I got to tell you that. The fact that the people are still very much interested in Rage Against the Machine, and an Audioslave is great, and that I can come here and play a show that's very important to me now. I feel very, very fortunate.
I mean, when you look on the crowd, it's older crowd. Is it a special thing for you to play for this crowd and not for a festival for 1,000 people?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this event has a very specific focus, and it's around sort of the music of Woody Guthrie and how his politics came, and so that is a sort of unique. And I like the fact that I'm now welcomed into that world, and it's a world that's important. That music is very important to me, so it's very cool to play this concert.
So this business is not so fast like a big business.
It's fast in a different way.
Okay. What would you say, what can a band do when they want to start in the music business? What would you give them for the message for them?
Well, I would say, first of all, I have no experience. I did start the Night Watchman, about 10 years ago, so that's my closest experience. With regards to founding a rock band now, I have no idea. It used to be you moved to Los Angeles to get a record deal, and then if you were lucky, you sold millions of records. Now, there are no record deals, and no one sells millions of records, so I don't know what to tell you. For me, though, to judge whether or not any project has been successful is really, do I mean what I'm playing, and does it connect with an audience? And I think if you mean what you're playing, you're already a success. And if it connects with an audience, then that's just icing on the cake.
That's fantastic, yeah. That's really great. Is it for a band necessary to have a management or a booking agency, or would you say do it yourself, get your own experience?
Well, it's certainly in this day and age, not necessary to do that, and how important those things are is a lot less important than it was before. Music, people still love and adore music, but I think the era of the super bands where every year there'd be 10 new million sellers, I think that era is gone forever. And so music has become in a way sort of more democratic, that you, me, and Metallica can all have a Facebook page that are absolutely equal in the eyes of the internet public.
Okay, next topic is now we play here, or you play, not we. You play here in a old factory. You visit so many countries and locations. Do you have some favorite locations?
Well, there's different crowds are different. I always love playing my hometown of Chicago, where I grew up. That's a big one. I love touring Australia. I can tell you, though, that I've had some pretty great experiences in Germany, like some of those big festivals that Rage played have been pretty great. This is only my third Night Watchman show here, so we'll see how that develops.
I wish you very best, very luck, and thank you for the time.
Thank you very much for having me. Cheers.